Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another review. In today's video, review and test drive of a Hyundai Ioniq 6 with a Ultra trim pack. Before I go any further in the review, big thanks to Grand Auto and their Hyundai dealership for letting me making this video possible. I will put all their info in the description below. Welcome back everybody to the channel. Like I said in the very beginning, in today's full review and test drive Hyundai Ioniq 6. This particular model is very special actually because this is a top of the line Ultra model with some very interesting details such as satin exterior color, 20-inch, really huge 20-inch wheels on this particular model, and of course, as you can see, these are not actually side mirrors, these are cameras. More of that a little bit later when we check the interior and of course test drive. Before we go further in the review, just a quick overview on a Hyundai Ioniq 6. You probably all know that there is also a maybe more practical and more family-friendly variant, Ioniq 5, which is also a fully electric model by Hyundai. This is a little bit more sportier with a little bit more range because of its very interesting design, but it's absolutely stunning. I know design is something subjective, but for me this is definitely one of the coolest looking models on the market, especially the rear end. In today's video we will go through all exterior and interior details, we will check the practicality, and we will go for a short test drive. Let's start with the front end design and details. LED headlights, of course, full LED technology with very interesting daytime running lights. In the lowest part, some type of contrasting gloss black details with a front parking sensors and some type of air vent on a side. Big Hyundai logo in the center, and below the license plate there is a radar for all the safety sensors in it. Moving on a driver's side profile, we come to one of the best bits of this exterior. Huge 20-inch Hyundai wheels, two-tone design, absolutely amazing looking on this Hyundai Ioniq 6. And one of the most interesting details, especially with this particular model, are these upgraded, these are not of course side mirrors, these are side cameras, which of course you can now see are folding. Interesting design of a door handles, very easy actually to operate. This car comes with a keyless go system. Tinted rear windows, something very useful especially now in the summer months. Moving a little bit in the back, we now come to my personally favorite part of a exterior design, and that is this sporty rear end. This is the main difference between this model and the more practical and maybe family friendly Ioniq 5. This is absolutely stunning rear end with a very interesting light pattern. Just take a look how amazing these lights are. This is something very special. At the very end I will put the car on so we'll see the lights in action and everything, so you will get the idea. Below the Hyundai logo there is a rear camera and button to open the boot. If we go a little bit in the lowest part, more that gloss black details, something similar that we saw on a front end design. The charging port is on a passenger side. You just press it and it opens automatically. There is a AC charging and DC charging option. We'll just close it easily. And let me know in the comment section what you think about this exterior design of a Hyundai Ioniq 6, or do you prefer more standard and family-friendly Ioniq 5. Now this is still a very family-friendly model, so it needs to be very practical. We'll start this practicality test with a boot space. Underneath the Hyundai logo there is a button, you just press it and the boot opens automatically. The boot opening on a Hyundai Ioniq 6 is actually pretty wide because this is a sedan or saloon type of vehicle. It's fully electronically operated, which is a very nice and a premium touch. Very wide opening and pretty deep inside. I can see that you can easily fold down these rear seats 60-40 by pulling this handle on a driver and on a passenger side. Everything is finished in this nice textile material, and underneath this floor mat, you have a little bit of extra storage. This plastic protective part will definitely help you if you need to slide some heavier and larger items in your boot. Overall, a very good design and shape for such a vehicle. Let's close this boot, of course, electronically again. And now we will check the rear seats practicality. The rear door. This is now the door opening angle. I'm about 184 centimeters tall. I don't think there will be any issues for me to get in and out, but we'll check that in a second. The door design, the end material, we will check a little bit more when I go and sit on a passenger front seat. But just one interesting and premium detail, these are heated rear seats with a little bit of extra storage in the upper section, middle, and in the lowest part. Ioniq 6 badge on a side skirt, and these are rear leather seats which are perforated in this center part and the backrest. You can also fold down this armrest, which then hiddens or actually reveals two cup holders. From a rear seat of a Hyundai Ioniq 6, this is now the door opening angle. I've put this driver's seat on my ideal driving position. This is my knee room and my foot room. Absolutely huge amount of leg room. For my head, I'm just about touching the roof. I'm about 184 centimeters, but if you wanna give a little bit of extra headroom, you can of course go without this panoramic roof if you like. Two LED lights in the back, two USB-C charging ports, and two air vents with extra storage in the lowest part. Behind the driver's seat there are these useful nets for your tablets, paper, or something like that. Also behind the passenger seat, and the passenger seat you can operate it like this, fully electric, if you need to have a little bit more of leg room and knee room. This is the view on a driver's seat and the passenger seat. And if you watch my channel regularly, then you probably all know how big I am a fan of this black roof lining. Now if I put this center armrest down, and if you need to carry, let's say, two adults of my size or around 180 centimeters, there will be no problems to travel in great comfort. Opening the passenger front door, now we'll talk a little bit more about the design and material. Similar like in the back, and the overall interior design is very futuristic, but is nice in materials. This opening handle is very cool with some type of aluminum effect. Extra storage behind this center part, which is very soft. This is part where you will put your elbow. This is very, very soft. One premium detail, not only it really looks cool, these are a Bose upgraded premium surround system. Extra storage for your, let's say, half a liter bottles. Again, Ioniq 6 detail on a side skirt. Similar seat design like we saw in the back. These are now in the front, again, fully electronically operated. Welcome now from a passenger front seat of a Hyundai Ioniq 6. I don't know how much you can see, but there is a bluish ambient lighting with a big air vent on a passenger side, two big air vents in the center part. We'll talk a little bit more about the center infotainment system and the digital dials when I go and sit on a driver's seat. Some useful shortcuts for your volume, map, nav, media, and so on in this center part. Start-stop button on a driver's side. Extra storage in front of me for charging your phone, USB charging port, two cup holders, and some buttons for the window control. In this back area there is a center armrest which you can open it, and it hidden again two USB charging ports. Let's quickly open the glove box, which is very interesting in design, as you can see, and very big, so you can store pretty much anything you like, and a huge amount of space underneath this floating center tunnel. Overall, absolutely stunning design of the interior. Follows that very futuristic exterior design, but maybe even more important, the practicality level is very high. But now let's go and check the drivers. So I have a screen over here, I have a screen over here, a little bit on a right and on a far right. Welcome from a driver seat Hyundai Ioniq 6 with Ultra trim pack. This is the key design they provide me here at the Grand Auto Hyundai dealership. I will put it over here. Of course, it's keyless. Now you can maybe see the high definition camera and the screen actually of a Hyundai Ioniq 6. We will talk a little bit more of that when I go and go for a short test drive. In front of us, digital instrument dials, a very nice and sharp, clear design with all the information on a screen and the huge center infotainment system. I'm not sure how wide this center infotainment system is. I would guess around 12-inch in diameter. A word or two about this center infotainment system. As you can see, we have around 49% of battery, which is estimated range of 204 kilometers. This is where we are. We have the satellite navigation with this particular model. I will not go through all details of this center infotainment system, but just for you so you can see everything in action. This is your main screen, some of your apps like EV status, map, navigation, phone, etc. This is the air conditioning, some useful settings and so on. Overall, a nice design, and it is on your ideal position. Let's talk a little bit about this very interesting steering wheel design. This is now the new Hyundai logo, let's call it like that, on a steering wheels, these 4 dots. Very good information is that these buttons on a steering wheel are physical buttons, so you can press it easily. These are not touch screens or something like that, so I don't think there will be any issues for a average user. Also, behind the steering wheel you have minus and plus pedals. Being an EV model, this means you can set your regenerative braking. Behind the steering wheel, now classic with the Hyundai, this gear lever or gear selector, for you can easily put it in a drive. I will show you now. You just go a little bit for a drive, then in the backwards for the rear, and you can press it for a park. But I just want to show you a little bit the rear, because now we can see the 360 camera in action, and also the rear camera with this very high definition screens for a side camera. Let me show you one very cool and interesting detail with these side cameras. If I open the door, just take a look what happens with this screen. It shows you what camera sees. It's very cool and interesting detail. For now, let's go and check the test drive of this Hyundai Ioniq 6. Hello and welcome to a test drive of a Hyundai Ioniq 6. I've did some kilometers or miles now with this model, and like with the most EVs, the overall impressions are absolutely stunning. But with this particular model, I have to say a couple of interesting details. The throttle pedal and the brake pedals are very nice and light. It's so easy to adjust it. Also, the steering wheel is very light, which will be very useful, especially in the city driving. One interesting detail is actually with these side cameras, because instantly you look on a camera, but you don't need to look on a camera, you need to look on this screen. But to be honest, with just a few kilometers, this is a very natural feel, so I don't think there will be any issues. But for now, just one interesting detail. I don't know how much you can see on a camera, probably you cannot, but there is a head-up display on a windscreen. Absolutely stunning feel with the EVs. Oh, just one interesting detail, there is a McLaren over there. The one thing I didn't tell you, it's actually the suspension, because this is EVs tend to be a little bit harsh in the suspension concerns, especially this one, is with 20-inch wheels. We don't have some very good roads here in Croatia, but I cannot say anything wrong with this model. It feels really nice. Again, with these huge wheels, no problem at all. I think that if you go for a maybe less spec model and go for a smaller wheels, I think that will be even better. Overall, very nice, very quiet in here because you don't have any internal combustion engine, and of course the gearbox and the all materials feels very soft and luxurious. If you make a turn with a turn signal, you have this camera on your screen, and also this is very helpful because these are the side cameras and you can see if there is anyone in your blind spot. One interesting detail with this test drive is that the rear visibility is actually very good, especially if you take a look how the exterior looks. This is a pretty decent rear visibility. If you're planning to buy this new Hyundai Ioniq 6, I would definitely highly recommend you to go ahead and test drive it. This particular model is a test vehicle here at Grand Auto and their Hyundai dealership. I will put the info in the description below. One of the best parts about this overall test drive is actually suspension, because I felt that it would probably be more harsh with the, in general speaking, with the EVs and these huge 20-inch wheels, but the overall suspension is absolutely stunning, very soft and very nice to drive, especially with these rough roads that we have here in Croatia. One last detail, I promised you to put the lights on. These are now rear lights in action. I will show you how everything looks in the front. Very cool looking daytime running lights with LED headlights. So this is the end of my full review and test drive of a Hyundai Ioniq 6. Big thanks to Grand Auto and their Hyundai dealership for making this video possible. I will put their info in the description below. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this Hyundai Ioniq 6. Would you maybe change something on your ideal model, or would you maybe even go for a more practical Ioniq 5? Thank you so much for watching this video and wish you all a very nice day.